let's have a look at the different reporting that you can get from the labor aspects and the labor reports in the sheet. So first of all, once you've got your roster in and you've got a budget in as well, you will be able to see different roster metrics. So in here, I've designed a roster overview. Now this is read only. The only thing that you can change in here is the week starting. So I've just selected the week that I've just rostered some shifts for. And in here, you can see that the dates are for this current week. Any days where I have a budget, then you'll get a daily breakdown. So you can see the daily total that is spent on all of the staff working. For salaried staff, it's an average of their pay across the hours that they've worked. The budget to sales for that day, and then the labor percentage. Anything sitting over 35% will show up in red here, just to give you an alert that you're sitting a little bit high that day. And then you'll have a line by line breakdown for all of the staff. So you can see how many hours they've been scheduled for each day and the cost per staff member for each day. On the right-hand side, you'll have a total breakdown. So the total cost for each of the staff members. Anyone who is a salaried staff will just have their salary on the right-hand side. And then the totals up the top as well. So total pay due for the week, total budget, and then the average labor percentage across the whole week as well. We will also have a breakdown of the timesheet. So if we double click in here and come to the current week that we're sitting in, we have a breakdown for the week's clocked hours for each staff member, the total hours, how much they've had in terms of breaks and how many shifts that they've worked, and then the hours per day. So you can see how much they have worked on each shift. On the right-hand side, you will get a variance report. So the rostered versus actual, the variance in terms of hours, and the variance in terms of dollars. So you can see if that's been affected by how many hours they've worked, if you've saved money, or if you've had to spend more money. And then we have one more in here, which is the labor weekly breakdown. This will pull through any weeks that you have registered timesheets for, and we'll pull through the total wages. Now, this is calculated from the timesheets. If you have a reason that you have a different pay amount, so let's say maybe you do a cashier, or you have a contractor that you want to include in the labor amount, maybe your cleaners, you can actually override the wages by typing in here. And that will override the wages in your reporting. You'll have a breakdown of rostered hours versus actual hours, any variance, the total rostered labor cost, the timesheet labor cost, percentage and dollar value variance, and the payroll date. Now, this information here also flows through to the cash flow. For the labor reporting, you also have some labor reporting in your dashboard as well. So in the reporting dashboard, you have so many different aspects that we're reporting on, but one, obviously, of your biggest costs is your labor. So under prime costs, you can see a summary. The prime costs include your labor and your cost of goods combined. So you can see your prime costs against your revenue. Let's scroll down further. You can see your total labor cost for the week. You can see your actual versus rostered hours in a graph. If you're like me, you're visual, so it's nice to see it in that respect. And then just a total breakdown by department here as well. So hours and pay by department. So actual versus roster and the difference between those as well.